Okay, now let me share my screen. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna do it as a screen share just because that way you guys can definitely see my drawings.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Let me try an Epic Pen. All right. Wrong button. Okay, so let's start with. So again, any specific things you want me to pay attention to this game ahead of time, like things you guys think you know you did wrong, or like
Rotations.
rotations, like defensive or offensive.
Both.
Just okay, so just in
Anytime we
general. So when you say
offensive rotation, like especially like when we have somebody passing the ball across the net, but
wait, your net or their net?
On offense.
On
Okay.
offense.
So you're saying that you think you're making passes across and nobody's there for them because the rotation is not good, or
Yeah, because both people end up rotating back for like boost or something.
okay, cool. That's something we can look at then for sure. And on defense, what's the any concerns about defensive rotations? Okay, well,
Maybe just if there's a way to tighten them up or do something better.
well, I will say that rotations are really, really critical around like champion 1, 2, and 3, and then as you get to grand champion and the game becomes faster, it becomes that much more imperative to have the guy who is immediately there challenging the ball. So I really don't think, like, I will say that rotations get a lot jankier once you get to an extremely high level. But here, I wouldn't even say that I'm at that level. I'd say you can still get by, and I don't think I'm very good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like, oh, I'm really good. I'm saying like there's no way you guys have reached that point yet. But there are still some cases where it may or may not be applicable. Like, hey, you could do it, but I don't think you'll get punished for it. So just to kind of throw things out there, it's like, yes, eventually you'll reach a point where rotations and making sure you stay in rotation is not as important as keeping the space and having somebody challenging the ball immediately to take away space from them. But in this case, you won't need that. So keeping the rotation consistent will just generally allow you to beat the other team more consistently, and that's what you're going for here. So we'll pay attention to it and just keep an eye on that and see if anything directly came about. It's a really good kickoff win. Let's see here. So cheat is fine. Immediately get this space. Don't miss 12s here. You could probably just shit. So instead of kind of driving through the ball anyway, try to drive like once you see this ball. You have enough space from this point on to drive through here to here to get the 12s here and get space. Don't necessarily creep up into this area because then you have to go like this to get space and you're not facing towards the ball, which is over here. So if you came through this path, you could just turn in and be facing the ball if you need to. Again, these are all little things. I'm always just going to nitpick small things as concepts that can be applied more broadly. Never take what I'm saying as the concept of you have to do this. It's always just here's an alternative. Try to consider these. You know the gist.
I got you.
Yeah, Hell is able to go up because he's got a good shot, but because you kind of are pushed in here, you end up both being in the same position. That's fine. You guys rotate pretty good. You have a nice spot. Capital's going to go and you support him well. Good. Yeah, everything looks good here. I like, Hell, you wait. I think you could just challenge there, but it's up to you, really. Have you been getting... This is only game 2, right? So how confident are you in your challenges on these? Like, I know the ball cam's forced off here, but, like, you have a spot where you can turn here. If you don't turn backwards, you might just be able to... fuck, that's so annoying. If you could just... Babs doesn't really have... He's playing this slow. If you just go for a really high challenge, it slows... So there's two options here. You go for a high challenge, which means the ball doesn't go over you, so you like double jump and fly up to make sure he keeps this ball down. So you either win it and the ball gets sent back into their zone, or you don't win it and the ball kind of goes under you, but the ball is still slow and it's still here, which is buying time for Capital and Nam to get back and fix their rotation. Alternatively, you could, if you do hit it, the ball pinches out to the middle and Capital can turn on it, or maybe Nam just hits the ball back towards your zone and you guys can re-corral it and clear it. But I think you're giving him a little bit too much space here if you don't challenge. I think that you have you have 72 boosts. Like you have more than enough to like you wait there, and I'm like, it's okay. Like he don't really lose anything.
Yeah, because I was seeing like Nam and Kappa were still in their half, so I was like, buy time or just challenge immediately.
Well, it's kind of the same thing. So depending on the situation, like if it depends on what your situation is, you can buy time here. And if let's look at what Capital and has for boost and what Nam has for boost. So Capital's on 14 and Nam's on 0. So Nam gets 100. But the thing that happens here is generally Nam, if this happens, can like stay upfield if you challenge. He's now got 100 boost, so he can be directly involved in a play if the ball goes up here. And Capital can fill in that third spot back here. So if you challenge, because Nam has picked up this boost, he doesn't necessarily need to go back. He doesn't need to rotate all the way back. You can just challenge here, and you guys can still have 2 people in the play while Capital's the third back. And your rotation hasn't really devolved because you still have your standard 1 person on the ball, 1 person back, and then 1 person across the field for a play. I understand buying time to get back, but that's like, again, that's the concept of you're giving them the ability to get into your zone for free. You're giving up field position. You're giving up space for them to get an offense potentially versus playing aggressive and playing to just take away every opportunity that they have. Because I think you could definitely challenge there and be in an okay spot. So let's see what happens as a result of this, because this is all kind of my immediate presumptions of the situation. Like if I'm you, I'm saying I would challenge there. Mostly the reason I'm challenging is because I feel like I have a good challenge. If you look at what Babs has with the ball here, he doesn't really seem to have control, and plus we look at him now and we know he has no boost. So if you look here, he's got this ball. This is really awkward for him. This is a situation where he has 2 options, either just to try and flip the ball, like flip into it to pop it up and forward, or he's either got to basically just take a good 50-50. So if you time your challenge well for a good 50-50, you're going to come in and basically just destroy him on this. You have a lot more boost. You can use that boost to get a ball that's going into their zone, which is essentially the same thing as buying time for your teammates to get back if you're winning it. The key thing that's bad is if you're challenging poorly. So like let's say you go in here. Every time it gets me. Let's say you go in here and you challenge in a way that he has control of the ball. Like he's able to flick it. And he's definitely got control. He's just resting it on his hood, like driving with it with control. Then you're not buying time for your teammates to get back. It's all about reading the situation. Like if he's got control of the ball, then you don't want to challenge. Then you do want to buy time. But since he clearly doesn't have control of the ball, and he's like trying to control it and like not get beaten on this challenge from his car language and body language, you can know you should be like able to go in and pressure that. Like once he leaves that there, like he's either got to cut it in which case, once he goes around this here, he's either got to cut it in, which means Capital can turn, and you can just go back, or you could just challenge right before that. I know it's a fast game, so it's hard to react, but I think challenging would have been fine. You're still doing a great job buying time and forcing it away from being dangerous. It just means that now this ball is in your zone rather than being across like the midline somewhere and being a possible offensive opportunity. And again, I think if you miss the challenge there, it's hard to come back from that too. But I just don't think there's a lot of situations where you do actually miss that challenge. You guys are pretty good. You're okay at winning 50-50s. I think you're fine. Yeah, Cap gets back. That's good. He follows his play. You guys are in a good spot. Rotate back post. Good. Everything's nice. This is good. Oops. Yep, I'm okay with this. Good. Yeah, at that point, that ball is over you.
I play for that.
Yeah, you need to be going up sooner here. So again, I think this is an issue where you possibly creep in too much. I understand, like, you see all of this is open right here, so if Capital gets a pass that goes along the wall this way, obviously you want to be first to this ball so you can just slam it in before Babs is able to defend it. But it's very unlikely with 2 defenders here that this is going to happen. So I'd say keep your distance here, to keep, past this far post, make sure you have this line, and you are good, you're on the other side, and you've got Nam back. I think your positioning here is good. I think what happens is you creep in a bit, and I'm guilty of this too, without a doubt, where, right here you're not in a bad spot either, but you keep going, and now the ball is over your head because of the bounce out on the top of the whip. And if you had jumped up as soon as this ball rolled up the wall, like if you had gone right about, we'll say here, just gone up for the ball with the expectation to breed it and protect it, which is really hard to do. I don't necessarily recommend that. You might have been able to adjust and get a touch on the ball, but even then, the way the ball comes out, it comes out towards like this side of the field. It's over like here. So you going around it to get a shot back on goal is going to be very difficult. So going up at all is basically just putting the ball back in the corner for Nam to go in. But then that means both you and Capital have to leave. So I think you just turn out, maybe steal boost. I don't know if you need to. I don't think you would. You'd be more concerned and let Nam push in on this ball because this ball is past you at this point. And again, Nam is also pretty far away, so he doesn't really have an option to go for this. It's just kind of like the play is dead. Let's hope they throw the ball back to us. And they missed the ball perfectly, which is good. I think you could probably have a little bit more urgency to this ball, Nam. If I look at...
All right.
Because they both miss it, so they both have to recover. Both CD and Babs miss this ball, and obviously you go back just in case they do hit it, which is fine. But as soon as you recognize that they both miss, you need to be using that boost and going for that ball. Like, you conserve this boost here. I understand wanting to take an angle for a shot, but it's more important to pressure them quickly here and not allow them to feel comfortable. Get this ball in as a shot, even if it's not a good shot. They have to scramble, get back to goal, get boost, and it lets you guys set up comfortably. It buys time for Capital and Hell. So in this case, because you go for this ball slowly, it allows CD to get a touch on it, which denies it actually being a shot. Which, I mean, probably Gottmot would have been able to save. But even then, just the panic clear from Gottmot might turn into something that either Cap or Hell can just put right in the goal. I would just be quicker to this ball. Don't conserve this boost. Just go right now. Just go for this ball. Keep it in the zone. Okay. Keep pressure. I mean, you end up keeping it, but I think you can do more. I think you can do more with it. Otherwise, I just want to look at how Hell and Capital return after this situation. Capital's getting out. Hell's also getting out. That's fine. Both turn back in. So you're still in a fine rotation. You've kind of set up the play. Capital controls it. Nice. Okay, what happens there? How does he lose control of that? Oh, he misses the boost. So yeah, this is one of the situations where I think going up the wall kind of buys you some time as a team, gets you guys a little bit more comfortable. I would say even because he's on the ball here, it's still his job, even if he misses boost, to go up and contest this ball rather than just give them the ball for free. Even then, it's really not that dangerous because they're in a fucking line all along the same wall. So there's nobody in the middle here for him to pass to. There's nobody that's a threat that he can immediately pop this off the back wall to. It's not like he's going to... it's not like he's going to hit this ball in such a way that it's going to hit off the back wall and come middle and somebody's there, because they're not. You can see from their positioning they're all not in a spot to capitalize on this. So maybe Capital sees that and he's like, oh, I have time to get boost while we regather ourselves. But, if it gets by Nam, it doesn't get by Hell, but at the end of the day, it's a chance that I don't think needs to come about. I think he could stick with that a little more. I don't know if it's a requirement, though. Again, nitpicky things. That's fine, clear. Maybe you could do a bit more with it. Let's see. So good positioning, good job immediately moving to this ball as soon as it's dangerous. That's solid. I like Nam going upfield here. That's all really good. Where's Capital right now? Capital's in a good spot. This is great. It's a really good counterattack position. Yeah, you do your best to get a good touch on it, but it's good enough. Capital gets a good shot off it. Yeah, that's a really solid play. Everything about that is really nice. I've seen very little bad so far in this game from you guys. Okay, let's go back to this. Good follow-up. Good job staying in the play. You see he doesn't get to read. You gotta bury that. I know you can't expect him to miss, but yeah, your positioning here is super fine to just hit this ball in. Again, this is one of those situations where I would probably go a little bit more to the side here, because you can see from the angle the ball is coming in at that even if he misses this, you want to shoot it at the goal, so you want to give yourself a better angle. This is a bit hard to read the exact spot the ball's coming out at. So as long as you give yourself an angle at the ball, you can kind of just come over here a little bit and give yourself an easier shot, because you can direct your car that way. Here, this ball is still hard to read. You're trying to just shoot it straight on, and then it means when you hit the car on the left side, it's unfortunate. So again, I don't blame you. I've done this a million times. You could have just made it a little easier on yourself, though. That's all.
Yeah, I agree.
Stay back, stay back. That's good. Why is Cap leaving here? Okay, sure. So this is a good play. Cap gets a shot on this. Let's just go back a little bit more. I just want to see something. Okay, Nam puts it to the middle. So this is, so I don't know. I've done this. I've fallen prey to this myself, but make sure you get these 12s when you're flipping out. Do your best to get them. I don't know if you're thinking about this, but you're missing 24 boost here that can have a difference later in this guy and this guy. But I would probably, so because you see both of your teammates on this side of the field, I would also probably be turning this way. Just to keep that space. Again, you want to keep the lateral space from these guys, so that way you always have an easy angle for a shot. And you end up like turning to fill in like the third guy roll over here along the wall once you see Nam and Cap going for the shot. But I think it's more important to be over here for a ball that squirts out this way. You guys have reached the point where you're fast enough, your rotations are good enough that you can be positioned aggressively for shots. So if you're, again, it's a situation where if you're over here, this is a shot on goal because it's an easy read as the ball pops out from here. Here you have to come across the ball and come back across to shoot it when you're facing the wrong way. If you had turned like this, it's just an easy turn in and shot. It may not be like an easy turn in and shot, but it's easier than where you are now. So just by mentally keeping this, like I want to be laterally just meaning across the width of the field, away from these guys, I think you kind of make this easier on yourself. And I just want to look at Nam and Cap's shots here. I think this is good. Take your time with it. I like that you go for a 50-50 on this, just in case Babs does. You get really high over him, just to make sure the ball stays in, which is good. It's hard to read it from that point. I probably would have gone for a chip and be a bit more greedy to see if he had. I probably would have expected him to be low on boost, but not bad. Cap does a really good try shot, and he gets the ball around Gatma, which is the most important thing here because it allows him a scoring opportunity. So I think that's really good. Again, if you guys had just had a chance to be far side, it would have been a better chance for a goal. But again, it doesn't matter because you still keep offensive pressure throughout all of this, which is really nice. So, I mean, if you look at the scoring opportunities so far this game, they've had a shot, but it's not really a shot. It's nothing. You guys have had the pressure through the first minute 15 the whole time. You guys have kept the ball in their zone, which is what I would expect, and you've really created opportunities. Ooh, good demo play. How does this not result in a goal?
I miss.
Rip. Been there, done that a million times.
I think I went for the top right corner when I didn't have to.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough read. It's a situation where it's, you see might get another touch, so you have to be far away. And then I understand he's boosting down the ball. Yeah, it's tough. That's a tough shot to hit. I don't blame you for missing it. It's great if it goes in. Definitely just hit that angle. It's just one of those things where, again, you guys are, yeah, no, it's all right. It's all right. Happens. Oh, the bump play. Boy, why are you going backwards?
I have no idea.
I would not allow them this much time to even possibly contest this ball. You have 100 boost. Get to the wall. Don't even let them get a chance to just hit this ball back in sooner. You let them come out super far, which means you might get dunked. But you know you've just created pressure by demoing one of them. So you've got the support in the zone. Just get this ball back in off the, like, even if you're whether you're driving in to pinch this ball off the wall so it zooms across, or you're just hitting the ball into it so it pops back out to the middle and maybe Capital has a shot. It doesn't really matter. Just keep the pressure in. Don't let them have a chance to pick up boost and push out. Unless you're like definitely beating them, which you didn't end up beating them. Not the button I wanted. Let's see here what happens here. So got puts it in a great spot. Good clear by Nam. Forces them all the way out.
I should have passed there. I thought I could get it over CD.
Okay, wait, let's see then. If we... Okay. Oh yeah, so you could put it over. You could put it over to capital there, for sure. Which is probably a higher percentage play than just clearing the ball out over the top, just to get the ball in their zone and get sustained pressure. But if you can get this ball over CD, it's basically a goal. So I would probably say, I'd say the better play is getting the ball to hell or getting the ball to capital than putting it downfield. There for sure. Maintaining possession and keeping control is really valuable. Also, capital didn't really have a ton of boost though either, so but not the end of the world. Yeah, this is awkward. You'd love to have somebody pressuring this sooner. But with capital on the far left side and then Hell being back, I definitely am fine with Hell waiting here, but it does end up getting him beat. Maybe just go for it because you want to allow your teammates an easier job. So one of the things that you'll hear, even at higher levels, is the job of the first guy is to get beat, and like pretty much 100% of the time. You're not getting beat for the sake of letting them beat you. You're getting beat because you're forcing them to make a decision. And so what happens is if you're pressuring this ball here, even just flying in, even though you're not getting a really good touch out of it, what you're doing is you're forcing CDR to hit the ball in a certain way based on the way you come in. Let's say you come in and you are flying, you were like in the middle here, where my camera's positioned on the ground, and you're flying in like at the ball right now. You're just kind of flying at it. And then CD's got to get on the wall, and he's got to hit the ball past you along the wall, which means it's a very easy read for anybody who's back to just come in and hit this ball back in. For Nam, who's back there, like it means he can win the race to the next ball. It creates a loose ball that you now have a chance to win a race to. And so if he puts this ball too hard past you, just to ensure it gets by you, that means neither Babs or Gatma is ever going to be able to catch up to it before Nam can get to it, which means you now have possession of the ball in the offensive zone. So your job here, while you want to wait and kind of dunk him and set up an offensive rotation, is great, and I do this too sometimes depending on the situation. I think it may be more effective against better teams to just fly at the ball and allow your teammates to read the situation while you get beat. Just going up and limiting what he has options for. Like, if you go on the wall here in challenge, then they know, hey, this ball's got to come out to the middle. You know, it's just you're taking away an option. You're taking away what happens, and you're making the read easier for your teammates to do something with it. So instead, you get beat, and that forces everybody to drop back. Cap's got to drop back. Nam, that's an unfortunate touch. Let's see how that happens. Are you too far up? You've got 24. Yeah, that's all right. No, it happens. But again, I think you could do better. But you could be further back with 12 if you picked up 12s. Yeah, it's all right. Ran out of boost. Not the end of the world, but could be better. That's good. That's a good adjustment. Wasted a lot of boost here doing this. Just get to the ground and then drive. 67 all the way to back to 100, but if he doesn't get that there, it's like waste of 50 boost when you can just drive there. Okay, let's see here. Actually, let's just watch this from the standard point of view. It's a really good touch by Babs. Okay, let's see from your point of view. So I would honestly, as soon as this ball goes straight up in the air, try to be boosting up the wall to it to try and meet it as it comes down. So the way I like to think about this, in my mind, is to think about the trajectory that the ball is going to come down at, and then meet it as when it's as close to the wall as possible. So this ball is going to come up, as you can see here, hit the wall, and bounce down. Maybe it'll hit the wall, I don't know. Maybe it'll be like this. But either of these two ways, I'm driving up the wall, and then I'm jumping off. That my momentum is still carrying me up. So you got to remember that a jump doesn't mean you're just coming out like this. A jump means you are actually going like this because you still have speed going up. And this is a lot of drawing, but so the idea is you're trying to meet the ball at some point here in the middle, like that you're just hitting it out. That probably
That's what my initial was.
Yeah, you kind of
Because,
turn in.
but then I was like, oh, I came out way too fast. I think if I wouldn't have creeped so far forward, I would have been able to get that.
Yeah, I think so too. Creeping forward here is the rough part. I mean, you can see Nam? Yeah, so you should still probably be back post here. You're like way up. You can probably be like here more than here, which would have made this read probably a bit easier. I think it's definitely more due to the creeping than it is to. I mean, it's a really good touch by Babs. Don't get me wrong, but I think you need to make a decision as fast as you can there. I think you're a bit slow on your decision to either go up the wall or do something once you creep up. Once you see this touch, like once you see that he's driving to hit the ball, like you should be looking for the next touch that's going to happen all the time. You should be not just like looking at the ball, but looking at who's going to hit the ball next and positioning based off that. So once this ball is going forward, you're either looking at how am I going to hit this ball before Babs is, or where is Babs going to hit this ball? Is it going to be a shot, or what's going and positioning based off that? So I think here you're fine to block a shot from Babs if he redirects this. But as soon as this ball goes in, you should be going to meet it in the corner or something like this, or going up the wall, whatever these things are. If you see Nam coming in behind you, and if you're going up the wall here faster and not not creeping up, you're in a better spot. And let's see how Gottmark gets all the way over here, sneaks all the way in. That's a good read. That's a really good read by him. I think you're a bit greedy with this rotation here, Nam. I know I preach back post rotations, so I agree with getting this boost and stuff. But as soon as you see this touch from Babs and Hell being not in goal necessarily, you see Hell here. You see a decent amount of space between him and the goal here. He's near the wall. I would come in like to the middle just to ensure that this goal doesn't happen. Like going back post is like super trusting Hell here that he's got this covered. And not to say that trust isn't good, but I mean, that's a tough read. I would definitely try to cut this rotation a bit just to make sure this ball isn't going in near side. Mm-hmm. But overall, this is a hell of a pass from Babs and hell of a read from Ma. Like, those are two really good plays that ended up resulting in this goal. I don't really give a shit about the touch back here. It's not good, but it's easily recoverable. It does probably lead to the goal. But I really think that there's a lot of other recoveries that could have been made here. I don't know why. Let's see if Capital does here again. I just want to look at this one more time. Yep, that's good. Just go up the wall. Just either land and drive up. So like, there's so many things he can do here than what he does. So doing this, he tries to pinch it out, which is great. Now just land. Why are you boosting through there? He's stopping himself from moving here by boosting up. He's like kind of giving himself some vertical momentum, which means he's not going to land. If alternatively he just boosts down to the ground so he can drive up the wall to contest this touch from Ma, or just drives forward to get the boost and turn and rotate back, like it's in a much better situation than what he's doing here. So now he's out of the play and he's never going to get back in time. Not that he should have needed to, but I think everybody could have done something a bit different that would have saved the goal. For what it's worth. Anybody agree, disagree, other thoughts on the goal or anything, how you guys view it? Love
I just view myself as creeping too much.
Yeah, creeping.
I way too much on that.
Yep. What about, yeah, that's fine. Nam, Capital's not here. It's a good kickoff again.
I just misread the shit out of this.
Oh, that's a hard read, yeah. I don't blame you on that. Let's see.
I thought it was gonna hit and come like out just a little bit, and it went straight.
Yeah,
down.
it hit the crossbar, and then it hit the roof, and then hit the crossbar and went straight down. It's whatever. It's a game of tough reads. I'm not sure I'd jump so early, Hell. Just strictly because you have much less control. You have, like, this ball is, so you gotta remember, any path the ball goes is gonna go up, and then come back down. So by the time you get to this ball, the ball will have already come back down. So you're getting up into the air while you really have quite a distance from the ball, but by the time you get there, the ball will be like down here. So it's more or less a waste to boost it. Take some time to get closer by boosting towards it on the ground, because I think it's faster. I'm not positive of that. And allows you to make an easier read, because Babs ends up panicking and not even hitting the ball, and you might have just been able to get a shot off that had you been patient and on the ground. Yeah, see? And so with his miss, if you just are on the ground here, you can just drive at that and probably beat Mott to it in the air with a double jump. Capital did a great job, though, rotating back around, picking up boost. He gets the 100 and is still involved in the play. You guys have done an excellent job of changing from going all the way back towards your guys' half of the to get boost, to keep pressure, and that's been really effective. You guys are doing a great job. Gets it over CD. Nam, you rotate in. Perfect. Like, you guys have been awesome about keeping pressure. You get a good shot in on the low post, which is good. You guys, like I said, this is really improved from last time. And been maintaining pressure. Yeah, I think that's tough. I would almost say you'd be better off either going straight for this ball in the air here, just because you see CD there, and CD is obviously much closer to the ball than you are, so you either have to commit super hard for a dunk on a read, or just probably get this 100 and turn back. Or like, I don't know if the 100's actually there or not. But I don't think your path does accomplish a lot, Hell. Just because you know he's there. I think, actually looking at this, I think, Nam, you probably could have angled a shot better, but that's just shooting mechanics. CD's taking away the whole other side. Maybe a pass to Capital here. So, viewing the whole play, I would say possibly look, because you do see Capital there when the shot comes in. Again, if you don't jump here for a shot, if you don't commit to this shot so hard, you can just possibly drive around it and make a flip pass that'll just drive the ball towards Capital, who can shoot it. He's over here for an opportunity. And CD's on back post. You can't see him, but the other guy's behind the ball. They've got the net pretty well covered. I think a shot here, unless you're putting this like right here and Speedy, is pretty difficult to do. And you do a good job putting it low here, but again, Mott is still there. So
yeah,
they do a great job defending.
I just knew I had to jump earlier or I was going to hit it to the ceiling.
Yeah, no, and I understand. Another thing you could do is,
yeah,
let me see.
I totally agree with what you said, though. I was just justifying a little bit of my wrong.
Oh, yeah, no, I understand. I see the bounce is actually a bit speedier than I thought it was at the time. So this ball, oh, whoops, I went to hit back twice. Okay, so this ball is coming down pretty hard. Yeah, I mean, that would have been, it's coming down hard enough to the point where that I agree that you kind of need to jump to hit it, but I'm not sure if I would have shot it or if I would have tried to put it to Capital here. I think...
Yeah, I definitely
tough.
saw him. I don't know, I thought I could hit it, but yeah, Cap would have been a much better option.
Your placement was still solid. CD came all the way across. So that's the other alternative, is if you see so the reason you want to put it here is because CD's still traveling right to left at this point. So I would probably say your best bet would have been to actually aim over here on some side, because even if you miss wide, Cap's there for support, whereas you know Mott has this side covered and you know CD's traveling this way. So just from like peripheral attention, you could see that hey, they're both covering this side. Got Mott's facing this way and CD's coming across this way. I have the opportunity to put this behind CD possibly if I delay hard enough, and if I miss wide, Cap's there to put it in. So maybe just seeing that opportunity would have been better to have you, put that ball to that side. And it looks like you were almost angled to do that too. Like, you were really close to. You just hit it on the front of the car as opposed to the top of it. As instead of if you just catch this ball with the front of your hood up here rather than like down here near the wheels, this ball goes over here rather than straight on. So you could have even lied to me and said I was trying to. I just mishit it, and I would have believed you for sure.
No, I was trying to put it in the bottom left. For some reason, like I said, I thought I could hit it. Maybe Gottmott was too far back, but it was not the optimal choice for sure.
Yeah, that's why it's easy to review after these things and be like, well, what are other options I have? And even then, you might not still do the most optimal play every time. It's just a matter of trying to see different alternatives. And one of the huge things is, let's say you make this pass to Capital, and then you guys score or don't score, whatever. Now CD has to hesitate. If he's the one on back post, he can't just drive across at you and try to take away that angle. It's not he has to worry, like, if Capital's here, can I do this challenge? Is he going to beat me again? And so just changing up what you guys do can also be really beneficial in terms of opening up options for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
This is good. Yep, I like that. That's fine. I mean, maybe I would, so again, this is one of those situations where I value getting the ball deep here. So if you're going to turn and make a play on this Capital, I know you're not here, but you're jumping before you've turned, which means you're not going to be able to get power on this because you can't flip into it since you need to get the height. I would almost just either turn back and control it to get a better clear, or like try and be greedy and come. What's the best way to explain this? So rather than like moving right where the ball is, I would almost specifically draw when I'm driving back, come away from this so I can loop back into it and hit it with a flip to drive more power and put it in the zone. Do you know what I mean? Like if we follow his path back as we see the ball come to him. He's driving straight through the middle. He takes this path right here, which I believe is pretty close to accurate. Yep. And then the ball's path is here. And his path is a turn and jump up to meet it here. So if alternatively you took a wide path, I'm going to change the blue, sorry for all the colors, like this, and then you came through and jumped up here so you could flip into the ball, or sorry, more like something like this, and then you jump up here to hit it, and you flip into it so the ball goes this way. You get more power on a clear to send the ball into their zone rather than just letting the ball hit into you up in the air here. I'm sorry if this is a bit confusing. I'm trying to explain my concept. It gets by Babs and CD, but it's definitely going to Gottmont. The ideal situation here is if this ball goes all the way over Gottmont as well. Oh yeah, I would have really just tried to use my flip into that. Back to normal view. It's a good pass. So, I know you're almost at a boost here, so I think it's a good touch. I didn't realize you were at a boost at the start of this. I was going to say, maybe try to jump up and catch, like, break air roll to the left, so that way you catch this with your wheels and you keep the ball close to you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that would, since you know you have so much space, since Babs is backwards here, I would, like, just try to keep this ball close to me and keep control of it. I would either, like, throw it towards the lip of the wall over here, or, like, try to keep it rolling on the ground, just so that way I know I have control of it. This ends up working out because you have so much space and you flip, that'll put you a path right into the boost. But I would say that if Babs is closer here, this is more or less a clear for him because he's going to be clearing this like right about in a second while you're getting that boost. Yeah. So right here he's clearing that and you can't do a damn thing. It works out, but maybe a little bit more control over that ball if possible. I know it's hard. Good control and pass flick. It's almost a shot, right? Damn, that would have been really good. Let's see what happened with Capital.
Yeah, it is meant to be for Capital.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure we had communicated that he was over there or something.
Mm-hmm. Oh, creepy. So this is the creeping in thing. Again, everybody loves the creeping. I feel like if you stay back here just a little bit more, you have more time to read the ball. So having time to read the ball in the pass and the trajectory is so huge because if you can read this, you can then hit it. When you're this close to the ball, by the time the ball gets to you with this much speed, he's now creeped. He's now even with the goal, I'm pretty sure, if you look at this. Yeah, he is inside the goal. He doesn't necessarily need to be this close to the ball and this far up. He can still be back here and still attack the ball while it's flying. He doesn't need to be here just to jump up and then tip the ball down and in. It's not like there's a situation for that. He can be further back here, and that's a guaranteed goal because nobody's in net. But because he's so close, it's a lot harder. You stop. Oh, no, man. Yeah, so keep that space laterally. That's one of the huge things I'm seeing is everybody wants to move in towards the middle of the goal, but it makes it hard to read. You want to keep that space. So, great pressure. Just create, execute on those opportunities. Hell, did you score this?
Cap does.
Yeah.
I am too close when I turn.
Okay,
I'm glad
like
Cap didn't bail.
Huh. Okay, let's see all the things that happen here, because this is a really interesting play. So right here, I don't know if Cap took that corner boost or not, and I don't know from the replay, so I'm just going to let it go back, and I want to see if it's there. So it's there right now, it respawned, Cap had taken it, so it's going to be about 10 seconds, I think. Yeah, so this boost is not there. But I don't know, would I turn back or turn it on this?
He has 53 boosts.
Yeah, I would probably. So it depends on the situation. It depends on how well they've been playing. If I think that Babs here has the ability to get this ball by me and control it, I would either turn in right here to try and pinch the ball back off the wall to the middle for a pass to somebody, or I would probably just go to the wall and try to shadow any play that he's going to make. But I would probably make the decision faster than whatever, because you kind of turn in here to like, it doesn't really put you in a good spot because it gives Babs just enough room to control the ball and make a touch over you without really giving you a good spot to contest, because he can put it into the wall and past you. Like if he hits this ball hard into the wall, it's going to bounce out and go by you. He can just try to control it and turn it upfield, and you're not really facing the right direction to contest that. You have to like either make a decision to either turn back and give yourself more space, or contest immediately. Yeah, and then you contest from this angle, which is a bit awkward because if this ball pinches out, it's pinching out towards your half of the
Towards
goal.
our goal.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
You definitely don't
Right.
want that. It doesn't pinch, and hell ends up creating an opportunity, which is good. You have no boost. Get out. Don't turn back in for this. If you pick up these 12s, alternatively, like maybe you can turn, but you don't path through the 12s, and I don't think you turning there is a high enough percentage play. And if you're going to turn there, I want you to be on the far post. So again, you want to be laterally distant here. If you're turning, I want you turning in the way that you are staying on this area. So you have an easy shot with zero boost. But turning into this is like you have no boost to get around the ball if you have to shoot it at goal. You don't have a good angle from this point. It's a lot harder play to make. I mean, you do rotate through, which is good, and get out, which makes them respect it, and it gives Capital an opportunity. But Cap shot isn't necessarily easy either. If you look at, he puts it right in the corner by Gamat, which is really, I'm pretty sure puts it under him. My shit's about to crash.
Only 95% achievements unlocked? Come on, MB.
Yeah, you'd think I would be better after like 2,500 hours in the game, right? Have all of them at least, but no. 2 of the grinder ones I haven't gotten. Okay, let's see. Capitals, player view. Okay, so. Yeah, just outside of him too. Yep, just under his front wheel. Great shot. All things considered, good team play there to keep the ball in. I would like to almost see what they did, what you guys had in the other games where you 5-0'd them, to figure out what went so differently in those games versus what happened here, because I don't feel like you guys have played that bad entirely. I feel like you're just not spacing yourselves out correctly to capitalize on opportunities. So I want to see what the games where you do have success look like, because that gives me more of an idea of when you do succeed, what are the ways you're going about doing that, versus, is it really going to crash again? Hello? Okay, there we go. It's just my controller stopped working. Okay, controller. There we go. Woo! Okay, so let's see what happens here. I like Capital's pressure there. I like that he's in his way, making him make a play on this. This is like what I'm talking about. Even though he's not like up in the air pressuring it, it's because he has the ability to be here. He can just go up and contest, be here and say, okay, now CD has to hit this ball really fast. And so I think you guys should work on positioning for this situation where the hell is the third guy? Oh, there you are, in the middle. Like, you see that is going to come across. Like, have somebody following Cap here, maybe. Just like, you move across the middle here, but you don't see that CD's going to hit this ball back across. But if you know Nam is over here, which Nam is over here, even though he doesn't have boost, you want to keep that lateral space. You don't want to be on top of each other, which means you end up swapping, but because you don't have the boost, either of you, to capitalize on it, it makes it really difficult. So yeah, stay in this space over here to the right, knowing that Nam has gone left. Stay laterally away from him on the field. And that way you guys know whose ball is what and what you can go for, and maybe capitalize on it a bit better. Because now you both go for this ball, too, which is awkward as hell. Because Nam sees he's like going forward, he's got the ball. It's like, okay, I'm going to take care of this, and you guys both end up going for it. And it's just a situation where, had you been further away from him in the beginning, hell, this probably wouldn't have happened at all. Yeah. Slash Capital. I wonder if Capital could have even tried to go for this. He could have. He just didn't want to. I probably would have tried to contest that. That's good. Again, I don't know if he needs to do this, though. Like, this is one of those situations that I kind of feel like, why clear this out like this? Like, nobody's contesting this. Babs isn't going to follow it up. CD's moving out. Just control it. Like, he's clearing it out here, but he's throwing it towards Hell. Now, Hell is going to have to be falling and recovering. Who knows how much boost he's got. I understand it's a shot, but again, as long as you control the touch, there's no worry. So, he plays it towards Hell in an area, but this would have to... Hell would have to have boost, and this would have to be directly to him for this to work. And neither of those things are true. So there's a much higher percentage play here, which is either let Nam catch the ball or let you catch the ball. Like, any of those things I feel like are better alternatives to just throwing the ball back to them here. Thoughts? Agree, disagree?
No, yeah, I just agree that Cap could have tried to control it. Although it was kind of hard because
Hit the
intercept
wheels.
the ball. I think it was gonna, either hit the wheels or if he was gonna try and catch it, we probably would have ran into Nam.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, is I don't think necessarily Cap should have been the one flying to control it. I think what happens here, and so again, team communication and coordination, how about Nam stops the ball and leaves it for Capital? So one of the alternatives here is, Nam, you just go to control the ball, instead of, like, what you can do is you can just drive forward, let the ball hit the back of your car here, like here, so it just drops dead. And then instead of having to make a play on it, you just leave the zone and Cap drives into it and he takes and controls it. There's nobody coming that's going to beat you to that. Like, it's a really underrated play. Like, just the concept of controlling it. Like, just only thing that has to happen to make that work here is the team understanding and agreement of, okay, Nam is looking to catch the ball. I will let him catch the ball. If Nam catches the ball, but it's not in a good spot for him to control because he has no boost, I will go take the ball. And you have to acknowledge that, just because the ball is sitting here in front of our goal doesn't mean I need to hit the ball out and panic. I don't need to. I can just leave the ball and Cap will come in and take the ball. Control
Can
it.
you play it in real speed from my view? Because I think it might have been moving too fast for me to properly catch it, and I was kind of in trouble and probably said something along those lines. Because I know I said thank you to Cap for clearing this ball.
This is definitely... I'll play it in real speed, but I don't think there's any issues here with just letting this ball hit off the roof of your car, hitting your car
Side,
here, and letting it roll this direction to go pick up boost and control. At the very least, you can do that, and that's fine. And if you have to, you can jump up to make sure it's going off to the side. But I think that alternative where both of you have boost. You go pick up the boost that's 100. Cap is like over on this side picking up boost. Is far, far better than Cap just hitting the ball back. Because then you have to go to goal, because they now have control, and you don't have time to go get that 100 boost. I mean, you probably still do, but I mean, if he hits it right to Gottmot, then you don't. But, like, if anything, you only can't get it because you hit the brakes at the end. Plus, you don't go through any boost. If you path through boost here, you're easily getting it, even though like, if you go through this line, instead of going out to the middle for no reason, you just come back through here, this guy, maybe this guy or this guy, you're fine. But you flip across and flips you in a bad spot, which means you can't go through any of the boost pads. So flipping here is probably a bad decision. But I think that this is like one of the situations where you guys could do a lot more than what you're currently doing, which is just giving the ball back to them. Anyway, I've spent a lot of time on this. We can see if you guys work on it in the future. That's fine. So I'd like for one of you guys here to just take the... So Nam's already contesting the ball. And I mean, when I say one of you guys, I mean Capital or Hell. You guys are both here. You guys both kind of... I think you can both see each other. Yeah, you can both see each other. Somebody, please, just take the initiative to say, hey, I'm going to go to the front post. Take that path through boost, or maybe just cut to the middle now. Just get that separation. Because when you're in the same spot, there's some confusion about who's going for the ball. Who's going to, like, fill in for Nam right now. It's like nobody's moving towards this ball. You're both more than happy to just sit back. And now Cap's sitting on back post, and Hell, you have absolutely nowhere to go because you're just behind him on the back post. Like, you're taking a really slow rotation here, which is just giving them time to sit with the ball in your zone. Like, okay, like, nobody's accomplishing anything here. Nobody's challenged the ball or making them get rid of it. You're just very happy to just... Yeah, we'll wait for you to pass it in front of our goal. Sure. We'll know we'll save it, but why would we challenge you? Like, no. Go up there, get the ball out of the zone, make them concerned. Win a 50-50, make it fly over their head so they have to turn backwards. Like, you're giving them too much space.
Okay.
Like, yeah, now you finally go, but it's in a situation where it's like they could be contesting it. If you just win the 50-50 outright earlier, then maybe they're not able to contest anything. Because now you miss this 50-50, Hell has to go, Babs gets it over your head. Like, sure, you're in a fine rotation, but because you have so much time, yeah, don't stay in the back here. Stay in the middle. Now you're in an awkward spot. If Babs gets by you, yeah, I mean, Hell covered kind of all right, but I think there's a lot of other ways you could have played this. It puts you at less at disadvantage. Mostly, and the biggest reason I'm telling you that it's better to go back here is because, again, you see both of them are in front of you. If none of them are in front of you, that means nobody's behind you. You're basically relying on the concept that somebody's behind you if you're on front post. And sure, you can still see both of them. You can still see both of them. He might be rotating back, but even then, I would still not be challenging this ball right here because I know Capital hasn't enough time to get back behind me yet. And if he did, he doesn't have enough boost. I would have had to see him flipping through directly to the back post to be having the confidence to challenge this ball. He looked like he was going across the field to get boost first. So there's no way in hell I am challenging this ball because if it gets by me, Capital's not back. I don't know if there's anybody open in the middle of the field just putting this right in. I am waiting to see his touch first and challenging the touch at an angle from like inside the goal. I am sitting like probably about here while he has this, and I'm trying to look to see if anybody's upfield. I'm kind of maybe positioned like this, angle at the ball, and when he gets this touch like this, I'm challenging that touch. I'm like challenging out like this almost because I know I'm not going to win the race to this ball. I need to take away this whole part of the net here from him shooting. So I'm going to do my best to take away an angle, and if I need to, but I want to have the time to that. Hell, you do a good job getting back on this. I don't know if you should have, though. We'll take a look. Yeah, I think it's all right. I probably wouldn't have flipped back here just because of the confusion it might cause. I don't know if that boost is there or not. Yeah, I think it's all right. It saves a goal. It's all right at the end of the day. I'm not going to complain about it. If it ends up biting you guys in the future, then we can discuss it. But for now, it's fine.
Wait, what would you suggest?
So, keeping the rotation is really pretty valuable. I would probably say that since Nan's back and Capital should be the one going to back post right now, in my mind. So you want to always stay in your rotation. So in my world here, Capital should probably be going to back post first. He should have probably rotated like this, 1, 2, 3 turn. Or like even through these, just to turn back here and support Nam. He takes a really wide rotation, which is, I don't know, like really presumptuous that Nam is okay back here. And then because of that, you want to keep this rotation of he's 1, he's 2, he's 3. So Nam's going to attack the ball. He's going to become the new 3. He should be the new 1. He should be the 1 here, gets the ball. And you should be the new 2, rotating back behind him to get back into position. Or going upfield if he wins this. If Nam wins this ball, going upfield is an outlet for him. But instead, because Capital takes a wide rotation and you need to cut back, it kind of offsets this rotation. Nam goes from 1 to 3 because he challenges, but then you become the new 1 since you have to cut in and cover for this, and Capital comes back. Like again, this is kind of one of those situations where at a higher level it gets kind of janky because this is a requirement due to the way people play, but I don't know if... I think there's better ways that this could have happened. I think in my world, this would have been, I'm rotating over here to stay in rotation, and Capital is not rotating back fast enough, and if this ball goes in, it's because Capital didn't rotate it fast enough. Or Nam challenged the ball that he shouldn't have. I mean, let's watch it from Capital's point of view. He misses this. He's got 16 boost. He sees you challenging. He sees Nam back. You've got to turn back to goal right here. He just takes such a wide rotation after. Once you miss this 100 boost, you don't have the luxury to take this much time to get back to goal. After missing this 50-50, once you are out of the play here, and you have 16 boost, and your teammate gets dunked, this is a panic, I need to go back to goal right now moment. You need to be going back as Capital through these boosts, not flipping across the field, in my mind. Again, you guys don't even get scored on here, so I'm bitching about nothing, but in my world, this is how things work. Okay, there we go. These are situations where I could see you guys getting scored on in the future, basically. So, very minor things. I know you don't have boost here, and I know Hell takes this boost in front of you as a result, so you're kind of in goal. If you're going to do this here and you're making it waiting for a play on the ball, as soon as Capital misses this, like doesn't get a clear here, I don't think he does, try to rotate back-to-back post, or like cut right back so Nam can go out and push and then go get boost. Yeah, wide rotations on defense.
I like wood.
Yeah, you guys go really wide rotations on defense, which makes it hard to get clears, because if you get beat, then it's basically a goal, it looks like. Again, you guys rarely get beat, so, again, it's not really a problem until you do. I'm looking at the wrong person. Hell. Here we go. Yeah, that's fine. Control that. Okay, so there's no... You can see right here, Gotmoth going back. You know from your peripheral, nobody's here. CDR just missed. Both Capital and Nam are both stuck in the corner. Why would you want to throw this ball back out of the zone while both of them are stuck recovering in the same spot? You do not want to give them this ball back right now. You want to control this and buy them time to reset. Like, let's look at where everybody is. Babs is on this side. Mott's all the way downfield. Like, yeah, it's not going to get punished. But if somebody was right here, they're going to win this race to the ball. And both Nam and Capital are in the same spot, and Capital's not even the right side up. So, you're basically means Nam has to snake the save, or if the ball gets by him, it's in front of the goal for Babs to score. And, you know, I just think that's a bad spot to be. Control that ball. It kicks out now because you don't roll it correctly up the wall, where you could have just hit it lightly. And now your team's in panic mode because Capital's going for boost. Nam's stuck in goal, and not even in an ideal position for goal. Nam should be, like, probably back post a little bit more, but it's all okay at the end of the day. That's a decent play. Get a little bit more on it. The flick was kind of missed.
Yeah, it was not a good flick. Because I remember asking where they were, and then they said center, so I tried to get it there, and the flick was just awful.
No, that's fine. It happens. Mistakes made. The idea is all right. This is good. I like your positioning. This ball kind of floats. I'd like for you to just either go for it or not go for it. Like, do a quick 180 and go for this ball. Because you do a quick 90, but then you kind of just track it, and then CD goes, and you're like, oh shit, CD went. I'm not ready to contest this, so you have to turn back. But he ends up missing, so then you need to turn back again. And so if you just made a decision here about, like, you know, going in one of these spots, or even just not kind of creeping up so you didn't have to turn back. Like right here, I understand you're supporting Nam. I guess Capital gets bumped up there, so it's a bit awkward, but I think just going up in one of these situations is better than shadowing the whole time. Come on. Work from here.
I've
Pick
definitely
something.
noticed that though lately. I'm just hitting it passive.
Are you okay, Envy?
I'm just trying to get it to work. It won't click on anything when I let go of the button.
I don't know how to use a controller. I find it so much easier to use mouse and keyboard for the replays.
I mean, it's just not working.
Should you just exit and go back in?
Yeah.
You're at 349.
Okay, well, I tried Alt F4 and that didn't work. So, let's try it a different way. No. You know there's a command called Control Shift Escape, which directly opens up the tab, the task manager, without having to click it.
Yep, I love that.
Yeah, Control Shift Escape. That's the good one. Cooked. DX9. Cooked. I don't know what the fuck that means.
Means it's done.
It's
It was in
done.
the oven and it's done.
It's done. Okay.
I've got about 6 or 7 more minutes before I need to go shower and stuff. Not to say rushing it, I'm just letting you
No,
know.
let's just get through this thing.
We get to watch how it all terribly ends.
Okay, why did Cap not contest that?
Because I confused him, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, he got bumped.
Bro, you're behind.
Even then, still, you're going up the wall here. You've committed to this.
Yeah, that contest.
Yeah, so what happens here is he pushes forward. So when you're on the wall right here, don't push up farther. Don't, like... The harder it is to read this angle. You guys consistently like to move up to areas where you're giving yourself less time to react to the ball. Drive up this wall. Stay vertical like this, parallel to the wall. What's the button I need? One, none. Come here. Now, give yourself a position where you're driving up this wall and not doing this. We need you, because that way we all tab will stay on. Drive up the wall like this. That way you can jump off if you need to hit the ball. It's not a very hard thing to do. When you go up the wall like this, though, you can't move vertically up and down the wall. There's no way you can do this with boost. When you're up the wall, you want to be up the wall facing up and down like this, rather than forward or backward. Obviously, so this is all relative to where you are with the ball. The ball is close to you, and you know it's going to be coming out. You want to like be up or down. But if you're way back here, for example, like where Nam is. Or sorry, not Nam. Fine. Just where, like, if you were, like, back here instead, right? Then you'd want to be, like, facing the wall like this. So that way you can attack the ball as it comes out and you get the read. But when you don't have the time to make a read on the ball faster, you just want to give yourself as much time as possible. Come up the wall straight here. Otherwise, you just have to hope you're in the right spot, and he's not. He doesn't go high enough, and it gets by him. But...
I shouldn't follow it.
Yeah, I don't think you should follow this. You have no angle. Once the ball's coming across, you would have had to read it like in such a way that you were reading the bounce so far ahead of time. You would have had to not fly the direction you flew, but actually flew a little bit off to the side over here. So when it comes out, you're meeting it out here and putting it back down and in, versus getting a read and then still putting it across, which is really hard to do. I think hell going forward is fine. Yep, this is good. Your rotations have been much tighter on offense, which is really good. It's unfortunate. Capital. We're going to try and split this. Oh, Yep, that's fine. Sure, sure. Good job getting it in, getting pressure, follow it, create pressure, that's good. It's fine. Because you're greedy for the 100 and it's not there, it makes it really hard to challenge this ball. Instead, if you had picked up the 212s that are in front of you, it would have made life easier.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, don't be so reliant on the 100. And I also personally don't hesitate to use my take ball cam off just to check to see if it's there, just for what it's worth. It doesn't really bite you, but you could have possibly done more with this after following it as a result. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, so.
I just waited too long.
Yeah, like, I understand waiting to see where. So your positioning.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. My car was just too far tilted to the left.
Yeah, so for example here, right, you're positioned here. So let me explain something. So you're here, right? And you've moved up to get this boost. So Nam is covering this wall. Nam's job here is to not let anything by this wall from his position. You do not need to be facing this direction if you don't, as long as you trust Nam to have this covered. Like, unless something gets by him, you don't need to be facing this way. He's got it. So you turn even more here, and now even then, if you see, like as soon as you see that Nam is looking at hitting this ball, even if he doesn't, you can tell the speed at which this ball is coming out is going to hit back this way. Even if he doesn't hit the ball, it's coming back to the middle. So I'm pretty sure Nam doesn't even touch the ball here. Yeah, he misses it.
Oh.
So you should have already been turned anyway, and you wait way too long to go up for it, like, to begin with. And that's just based on, like, just not reading the situation, I feel like.
Yeah.
You shouldn't, like, turning this way is fine right here, because let's say maybe Gottmut puts the ball behind Nam. Maybe he's going to hit it, like, right here, and so you want to go to meet it when it hits the wall to pinch it back in. Like, sure. But once you see that this ball is a ball which Nam can hit, go up. Like, turn your car to the right and be reading this and going for this contest. You just wait so long, like you're still waiting, and then you don't even go. And Gottmut, I'm pretty sure, is the one that hit the ball in the first place. So he had enough time to clear this ball past Nam, and then recover and go up. He waits, gets down on the ground, beats you up to the ball. Like, that shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Cap's in a fine spot. Cap does waiting for you. Oh, Cap, you gotta be just going back at that point. Once you see Hell's not going up, get back. Right here, you're boosting back just in case Hell misses. Like, just in case just out of sheer concern that it's a 1-to-1 game and wanting to put yourself in the best space possible, trusting Hell here is great, but you just need to get back just in case. And even then, he cuts in, like, again, taking time away. If you just drive back to the back post with boost, you have 100 boost, just use it to get back and be safe. He gives himself no angle by cutting in towards the goal, which means you're not going to be able to do it. You're not going to make a play on it. So, ultimately, I think Cap should have pushed back a bit faster there, just out of possible danger. But, also, I mean, let's just do one last thing, just so I make sure I correctly check everybody. Is there a situation where you probably should have hit this Nam? I mean, no.
Didn't really get a boost.
Yeah, you didn't have enough boost to do it. But that's the thing, is so you're pushing up here so hard without boost that I agree that you want to contest the ball and you try to make a read, but if you're not, like, I don't know. That's tough. I think if you don't have enough... Yeah. I want to say, like, yeah, it's good to pressure there. At the same time, it's not good to pressure when you don't have that much boost. But, you know, I would probably just be, you know, staying on the wall sooner, trying to get to the wall faster rather than pushing up. If you get to the wall further back here, if you go to the wall at this angle and go up rather than this angle, that means that either if he puts it in front of you, it's something you can kind of react to. It's something that you can recover from and your teammates can push up on. You know, because they know you don't have a chance to hit it. They know it's hitting in front of you. But because you're close to it and you don't have boost to follow up on it, they're like, is he going to hit it? He might hit it. I don't know. And they have to wait for it. So if you kind of come up the wall and you were back, you know... So if we say, you go up the wall, in this area rather than over here, they know, like, hey, this ball's going to land here. Hell can just push up on the ball. He can see the read and be like, okay, Nam doesn't have that. I'm going to contest the ball in the air when Gatmok goes for it. And it becomes a 50-50. But because he has to wait and say, oh, does Nam have it? Oh, wait, no, now it's going by me. He can't do anything about it. So just alternatives, like keeping the ball in front of you there might be easier, rather than trying to put yourself on such a tight angle in a read because you don't have boost. Hit or miss. How does the last 40 seconds go once you guys get scored on here?
Honestly, don't remember.
Okay, let's just get a bit
sure
of
I
watch.
just panic mode, try to score, which I shouldn't do, but...
Okay. Goes to Capital. Capital gets a poor clear. So, hell, if you're going to be there, let's just...
Cut across.
No, so there's two things. This is a fine play. I'm okay with all this. This is good. Follow the ball. Look to contest. I would be jumping a bit earlier there. You're here. Once this ball's coming towards you, I would probably just try to hit this back into Nam. Like, it sounds really dumb, but you're trying to catch them off guard and get a big clear, right? So either you have two options. You either just go across the field right now to open yourself up for a pass, like while pushing upfield, or you can try to get a clear by just booming this back into Nam or like pinching it into Nam so it goes upfield. Because there what happens is now that you kind of just have sat there, CD is able to just push up while you've kind of accomplished nothing by being there. And I mean, honestly, probably other alternatives include Nam getting a better touch on that, but it's tough to do. I think since you have more time here, you don't need to flip into this ball. Try to get an actual clear rather than a flip into it. Like hit it and then just instead of flipping here, you're gonna hit the ball anyway. Just stay here so that way you're not just flipping into it. That way you have control over your car. Flipping means you don't have control, and it's not always, but the concept is you don't have control. See, Cap in here instead just jumps off the wall and flips into it when he hits the ball to get a more powerful clear, versus flipping into it along the wall. It's a bit tougher to get something reliable. That's a meh decision. But again, 26 seconds left down a goal. Yeah. Good. Yeah, this is good. I like the rotation. You acknowledge Hell's got that ball covered. You guys don't seem to panic. You guys are fine. Hell misses, or Cap misses that. How much should I wrap this up? That's just panic. Not used to being down. That's a good play to beat somebody. Cap's getting across the field. Like, you guys still have done fine. This is one of those situations where, again, giving yourself a better angle on goal is good. If Nam beats him here, you either need to be going for this immediately, but you aren't boosting towards it. You're not committing for this shot here. You're just waiting to see what happens. If you're going to wait and see what happens, I would just stay back here. Give yourself the space that you need to be able to read the ball. Instead, pushing up here, you're not accomplishing anything. You're pushing up, and it's only in case Nam gets another ridiculous touch on this ball. Give yourself the space here. You're either going for this now, you're boosting in and trying to make a play on this ball specifically, which I wouldn't recommend because the ball's moving away from you, or you're sitting back here up in this area. You're sitting here somewhere along this line, basically, waiting to see where this ball goes after Nam and Gatmok meet, because it's going to happen. So instead pushing up here, and then CD pushes it back, now you can go up here and you might have a better shot on this, rather than just, that's still a really good touch. Oh, no.
Yo.
Guys. So yeah, patience there means you get possibly a clear touch. Cap just goes too high, misreads it completely. But he probably want to put it down. Oh, he just misreads it. Yeah, I can't fault you for being out there, Nam. I wouldn't tell you to go in for that otherwise. It's not your job to be in there when both of them are already there. Yeah, I don't think you guys played that bad. I think you guys kind of are missing your opportunities still. I think that you guys are consistently not keeping enough space to make your life easy, because it kind of is difficult to score from the angles you're at. If you get a chance later on, let's review a little bit of what the good games look like to see how you're scoring and what's creating opportunities, to see if that's sustainable, to see if it's just them fucking up, or if it's you guys actually making different plays, and maybe we can determine why those games are having more success versus why this game doesn't have success. Overall, you've lost 2 whole games out of the series, and both of them were 1-goal losses on games you could have played much better on, and had pretty defining mistakes in them. So, not too bad overall. Obviously, a lot of room to continue improving, and 18-2 is nothing to be sad about. You guys are pretty dominant, so I think that wraps it
I'm
up.
down to review one of those 5-0 games, by the way, whenever you want.
Yeah, I have to go get dinner, but I'll be back later tonight. Nam, will you be around later tonight, like 9 p.m. Eastern?
No, I'm gonna go see The Incredibles. Sorry, I just took a shower.
No, you're good, man. Hey, I'm like, is at any point like tonight, like 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. or no? Because I'm gonna be Saturday night. So if you guys are around, I'm still down to do it. You know.
Do what?
Like do the review of another game, like at a 5-0 game where you guys are winning.
Oh yeah, make us look good. That's great.
Just let me know. Let me know when you're around
I
tonight.
don't know how long The Incredibles 2 runs. It starts at 8, previews, so probably 10:30, 11 maybe.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah,
That's fine. I'm down. I'll be around. Yeah, I'll be around. Don't worry. So I will ping you guys when I'm kind of around, and if you guys are available, we can do it.
for sure. And I can always
let me
you
know
can always
how-
invite me to the call after, right? After
Yeah,
you start it.
I won't. I probably won't start before you get there. So it's quite all right. Let me know how The Incredibles 2 is. I was wondering if I should go see it.
I've heard so many good things about it.
Oh yeah.
So I
I
heard.
gotta go home and be late. Bye.